life. It is. Good morning. Good morning. Good Sunday morning, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen. Brent, gentlemen, gentlemans.
Gentleman.
That's not the plural.
Yeah.
Guys, what's going on out there today? Drop dead gorgeous start to a day here, Jeff, in the Southern California desert
Nice.
at the Mission Hills Country Club, Rancho Mirage, California, 92270 is the zip code. And got a great grass workout this morning starting at 9 for a couple of
Beautiful.
hours. We're to go solid for 2 hours.
Ooh, nice.
And
With the big O?
yeah, the big O, someone else will be there. But I'm going to be like, at some point, they're going to be looking at me about an hour deep into it and going, what's this guy on? Because he just won't stop. It's like, and I'm
Relentless.
going, fellas, this is a fitness opportunity. Anything else, like, we play these points, these singles points where one guy's out. And frequently that one guy who's out, it could be just for 1 point, they're sitting down. I'm going, what are you doing?
No.
What's the point of sitting down? I'm tired. Okay, then even more reason to not sit down and work your fanny off today. Anyway,
Yeah.
it's kind of the way I look at it. And just a real big shout out to my boy Al Yearwood, Jeff, from Memphis, Tennessee.
Yep.
He first team. He's on the USA team this year in Antalya, Turkey, or that area, Turkey. I was originally chosen to go on that team and felt I'm not feeling it. I'm not feeling the safety factor. I think they're going to be totally fine. But anyway, he ended up replacing me, and he had to play singles today. And the way they do it is you play number two. There's two singles and one doubles, and you don't play them all at the same time. You just play one match on one court at a time.
On one court, yeah.
And number two singles is always the first match. He's our number two guys. And here he comes in, and this is the first time. And I remember my first time in Perth, Australia. I was a last second sub for Armistead Neely, and I just told the captain, "You sure you want me to go?"
Sure.
Yeah, and he kind of like I'm going,
Right.
Yeah. He said, "No, you're the one," and and he had a close match. I think it was 5-4 or 4-5.
Yeah.
So good for him. We just talked to him on the phone a few minutes before, but anyway, good for him. And I'm happy for him. Guys, what I've got for you today is we're going to look at how to get some overhead power. I think there's one really important thing that you do if you want to get power. And we're going to watch the great Frank Gibault. It's a Francais. It's a French name.
Yeah.
Many times by us Americans mispronounced as Zbot.
Zbot.
Come on. We're better than that, aren't we?
Just pronouncing it that way doesn't sound right.
Yeah, Zbot. I don't know. Gibault. Anyway, and again, another one of the great all-time guys. And by the way, when you play the senior tough, and you're going to be the first one to back me up on this, Jeff, there are some really good humans that are involved in this thing. They're great guys. Yeah. And there are a couple of roving idiots out there that, okay, that's going to happen anyway. But most of them are really great guys. So look, if you're looking to dip your toe in the water of some Masters tournaments, I just think it's really, if nothing else, you get a real reality check of someone your age, what that level's like.
Yeah.
And it's motivating. It's inspiring to see others at your age be able to either be great, fitness wise or whatever. But I don't know. I just think it's a great thing to do. So,
yeah. And I would add, obviously, I always say this, the culture. The culture around the senior events is such a positive, enriching experience that everybody's willing to share what they do, how they train, how they.
Everyone's approachable.
Everybody's approachable.
Yeah.
I always, tell my guys and gals that, if you played somebody that you you've never talked to before or whatever. Listen, when the match is over, sit down, ask them.
Yeah.
Ask them.
Right.
I've yet to have anybody not share wisdom after a match.
Love it. Love it. Hey, Mike Rogers. Good morning. Good morning. What's
Morning,
going
Mike.
on? What do you guys? Is it some decent weather today? Can you get out there and play tennis?
Yeah, I'm going to be down in Woodside today.
Oh, nice.
Coaching down there
Whoa.
with some women's doubles for the nationals, so I'll be down there. So, but the weather looks like we got a marine layer kind of off and on today.
Okay.
No rain, but definitely playable weather. So,
okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's better than rain. Yeah. Guys, we're going to look at some overhead power, and yours truly with the serve. And by the way, we're gonna dig in next week on the Topspin second serve, and the great Brian Cheney, captain of the USA team in Antalya, Turkey. One thing to be thinking about on consistently nailing your target on the topspin second serve, assuming, and this is assuming that you've got the swing tech figured out, is there's no other way to do this other than to get out. And yesterday I did this, Jeff, where I got out with a bag of 50 balls, and I took a little towel with me and draped it over just a little hand towel. And so it covered maybe 12 inches of the net, and just tried surfing over the top of that for 50 balls. And so there's no other way to get your target going. Again, assuming that you've got the right swing tech on your topspin second serve, other than getting out there with your own bag of balls. And I prefer to do it without someone else over there, because they're working on their return and they're knocking balls right back to me. And I don't know. There's something about someone else being over there that's a little distracting. It is. So anyway, that's the message on your topspin second serve in terms of target. Get out there and work your butt off on it. So this is back in the day, Minneapolis, Eden Prairie, Minnesota, 65 indoors, about 10 years ago.
Boom.
Yeah.
Some great action. Okay.
Now, Frank Jabot, I think he's about 6'2".
Yeah, he's a tall one.
So this is back there. Look at this.
Look at that move, though. That's athletic, baby.
He's gotten back. But here comes the power source. And it's with that right there. Yep. It's with the wrist is limp, probably not limp, but he releases it to where the racket head now is pointed straight down.
Yeah.
And we get not a generous call, but we get the right call. Brian looking right at it. And he goes yep, that's bueno. Jeff, have we ever seen this ball called out before?
I've rarely seen it called in, so this is this is actually, this is like finding a unicorn. This is Bigfoot out in the wild, right?
I would say that it's not always intentionally called out, by the way.
Yeah.
So look, guys, here's what I want you to practice on this. I want you to feel that the wrist is really relaxed and that you can get into this position. I don't know, obviously it'd be better if Frank and I were on the camera side, but you get the idea that it's almost like you're going to take your racket and throw it up as if you're throwing like a pop fly with a ball, and letting the wrist go, because that's where you get racket speed. If you just go up and just push, lock the wrist here and push it, yeah, you can get it back in play, but it's not going to have this kind of threading the needle in between the two players type of power. So let's go ahead and play this back from at least the serve here. And the other thing to be looking at here, all we've got is court position. Nothing great with the volleys. Just making them choose to go for the lob at some point.
Every volley there though was you could see that extra line there. Looks like that's a junior red ball court, the little junior court, the softball. And so every volley is at the baseline of that junior court, which is just textbook. That's like the minimum depth, right? Your first volley needs to be like, that's perfect right there. Right. And Brian is playing tight. He doesn't want to give up the court.
No.
Frank, again, look where his ball is. So now he's got to take it in the air.
How many guys,
and he does it again.
If they're Brian, how many guys would have backed up on this and not kept court position?
Right.
Yeah.
And so that's the beauty of that is just there you go again. Like every one of those is in that area, so Brian's trying to, he wants to get in, he wants to do that, but your volleys are in that zone, and he can't make a move forward off of any of those, because if he does, he's toast, right?
Yeah.
You're gonna see the open court and be able to hit a little knockdown volley to get it done. But it's on your guys' part. That's what, if you want to put air quotes around it, that's journeyman tennis. Those are journeyman volleys. You keep sending the ball back deep and say, I didn't like that pitch. Give me something else to work with, right? I'm waiting for the right pitch. And this is where, and then, Frank, obviously, he reads the lob incredibly well, because it's a great athletic move he makes. And he covers that overhead extremely well, But
well, the other thing too is that
quick he's up, hands are up, boom.
So the other thing too is that this lob is right down the middle.
Yeah.
And so naturally, who's going to take the overhead? Well, it's not so much like, let's say that we were two lefties as opposed to two righties over there. So if I was left-handed, Frank's left-handed, it's mine because I've got the overhead. It's Frank's now because we're two righties, he's got the overhead. So
right.
I want you to be, and we just kind of instinctively know that. Here's the other thing I want to point out, Jeff, is a lot of, I get this a lot too, where someone's going to be saying, well, in terms of Brian, I could have stopped it here and said, well, what's the right shot? What do you think's the right shot? And too many people will go, well, I want to think about the right shot in terms of where could I play it so that it doesn't come back? Where would it be a winner? And there's definitely a possibility for Brian to hit this shot to a few different spots where we probably couldn't get to it.
Right.
Okay. And we talked about this the other day, that good doubles teams cover 80% of the court 100% of the time. You can never ever cover 100% of the court. So yeah, could Brian hit a winner here? He could, but man, that's going to be so rare. If we've got 80% of the court covered all the time.
And he's got to hit a little fadeaway too, right here, right?
I mean, he could roll this cross court. He could, but man, we're just saying, Brian, look, you're one of the all-time greats. You're a legend, but we're going to make you hit a winner.
Right.
If you can do it, that's 1 point. There's no formula here. There's no formula. Stop with that. And then just love the power. Boom. There you go.
I'd make one other point there.
Good.
Is and we've talked about this in the last few weeks, and that is, as you guys are exchanging, you hit the first volley, and then Frank has to hit 2 volleys in a row, and then you pick up the next one, the one that Cheney hits the lob off of.
Right.
But Frank never disengages, right? You never disengage from the point when you're not hitting the ball, which is why he makes such a quick move. He's reading it. He's reading your volley as if he hit it. and he's so in tune with, Cheney making his move. He's looking at Cheney. He can see that he's starting to fade, and he's gonna hit the fadeaway lob, right? And put it up. And so for players, it's really critical that when you're doubles, when you're not hitting the ball, are you still engaged in adjusting position? Are you still engaged and acting as if you did hit it to that target? And where should you be so that you stay in the timing and the rhythm of when the ball's being struck? I mean, it's just critical. And so that's what I love about, the other part of this is that you hit the volley down the center, and you can see, Frank is right there behind you to cover. And
so,
then he just covers, after you hit that volley, he's ready.
Yeah.
Looking.
So look, I think the other thing too is that, in terms of Brian, this is a great shot in terms of forcing us to decide who's going to take it. And so if you both can be prepped to take it,
right,
then I would prefer for Frank to take it, because he's a little bit closer to the net than I am, and he's got some better angles than I do. But I'm going to be there, and if he can't get to it for whatever reason, we'll just keep the thing going.
Beautiful.
Yeah, there you go. All right, guys. Hope this has been helpful today. If you love today's video, please hit the like button. Be sure to subscribe to the channel. Click that notification bell, and so you're always alerted when I go live and or upload new content. And listen, I am offering one-on-one coaching services, which I have for a while, in two arenas. Number one, on court. From time to time, I've got one of our students, Jeff, coming out, probably already here. Dan from Michigan.
Nice.
He's going to be here Wednesday, Friday next week, and then the following Monday, we're doing 2-hour sessions. I got our boy Dave Doherty coming out for one session. Got the Big O coming out for another session, and I love this kind of coaching because it really gets away from the basketball feeding easy thing of, well, let's just get some more topper on that forehand. This is much more coaching in terms of, let's see what your natural shot choice instincts are. Let's see what your natural court positioning instincts are, depending on the shot that you've just hit.
Right.
Let's video the thing. Let's get 6 hours of video, and then we'll cherry pick some points out of there. We'll create a playbook that you can watch every day. The playbook's about 3 minutes long, and it's, here's who you are. This is a mindset training thing in terms of watching yourself, as opposed to someone else as the model.
Yeah.
Watching yourself as the model, doing the right thing over and over and over again. And over time, your brain goes, wow, man, you're good. You're good. Let's roll. Come on.
Let's roll. I can do this, right?
Yes.
You're seeing yourself actually succeed and do it, right?
Yeah.
I would add this to it too, that I think a lot of players make the mistake of wanting to, play points against the pro, right? And I've done millions of points, right? And as you have too. But the most beneficial though is having somebody else there, and the coach can watch, see what's actually going on. Because the problem is that the player will not make the same choices. He knows the pro can cover. He knows the pro has skills well beyond his. And so it's not an honest assessment of what they do with the ball, because things get in the way. And so like today, I'll be down in Woodside, coaching, national ladies team. They're contenders. And if I'm the fourth in a doubles situation like that, it's wasted time, because they will make different choices because of my skill set when they shouldn't be. They should be playing it straight up as if, I'm the same exact level and blah, blah, blah. And it's just a bad read. And so a lot of people like to do let's get 3 people in the pro and let's work at it. It's a false reading of what you guys actually do.
That's a great point. That's really, really good point. Yeah. So anyway, look, guys, we can do this on the court. We can do this also video conference, which I think if we're going to do some stroke tech stuff, it's actually better if we can be side by side looking at this looking at a video and kind of picking apart stroke tech if we need to do that. But it's also a great opportunity as well to look at video. I just think video is so underutilized in the teaching game, and there's a lot that we can do with it. So look, if you got some interest, shoot me an email, brent@webtennis.com. We'll schedule a free 15-minute StreamYard call, just like this video conference call. And you can tell me where you're at, where you want to take your game. And I'll show you how I think I can bridge that gap between where you are and where you want to go. I'll show you what the coaching program is, and you can make a decision if this is a good fit for you or not. And again, Brent@webtennis.com. Jeff, as always, is over at Jeff@Jacklich, JACKLICH.com. No, 365.com. Yeah. That's it for me today, guys. I'm looking forward to getting out there and outworking everybody today.
Whoop.
I know.
Put the hurt on.
Just outwork. All right. Hope this has been helpful, guys. Any comments, remarks, questions down below? Let me know. Love to respond to them. And again, if you want to keep those private, one-on-one, just shoot me an email, Brent@webtennis.com. Jeff, thanks for your good stuff as always today. Greatly appreciated. And guys, time for us all to get out there, help someone else have a great day. See you guys again next time.